Good evening. Welcome to my garden. My business is Teresa Marie Art and Design. Today is July 2nd. It's about 9:15 at night, and I live in Western Washington, and the sun sets at this time of year about sometimes 9:30, 10 o'clock. So we have a wonderful dusk evening. I just wanted to show you a few things about harvesting rhubarb. And I'll show you what the rhubarb looks like. It's an heirloom rhubarb. I've already cut the rhubarb here. And the heirloom rhubarb, it has red and green in it. What I do is I twist it from my bush, and I'm going to show you over here where I harvested it. So I go to the base of my rhubarb, and if you could see it over there in the distance, and I just twist it from the bottom, and then I cut little 1-inch, I cut it into 1-inch squares, and I'm going to be letting this sit overnight. So this part right here I don't want. I'm going to cut that off, and I want to cut them so they're like this. And I have these garden, I use them for herbs, and I use them in the garden too, but I use them for herbs in my kitchen. And it's the best thing I could find to cut the rhubarb. When I try to cut it with a knife, then it doesn't cut very well. I try with a serrated knife. I can't do it very well. And a regular knife. And so I found that if I just use these, it's the best thing. So they all look like this. And I put them in a bowl, and I put a little bit of salt water, and that helps to soften the rhubarb. It helps to bring out the flavor. Now, I've been told that the rhubarb that has a little bit of the green and the red is the most flavorful, more so than the red rhubarb that you find in the grocery store, which is very pretty, but this is the best that I found. And I got the original rhubarb at a Master Gardener program, and that's the best place that you could get your rhubarb from other gardeners or either a organic gardening store. Sometimes the regular plant nurseries will have them too. So I've been picking, best time to pick the raspberries and strawberries I found is early in the morning. And I have some raspberries, and I have some Western red cedars. And what I did is I had them cut down because they were old, and I had an arborist cut them. And then the Western red cedar, they get hollowed out in the middle when they're very old. And so I just put plant dirt in the middle, like raised garden soil, fertilizer, and I put all my raspberry starts in my Western red cedar, and it acts like a planter, and it helps to contain the raspberries so they don't get out of control in my garden. So I like to add color to my rhubarb, and I add strawberries, and I add raspberries. But tonight I'm just going to be letting this sit overnight. And then what I do is I cut off the leaves, A lot of people use the leaves to do cement art. And another thing that the leaves are really good for, they're good for putting along pathways. And I found that it helps to prevent weeds and grass from going in my pathway. And I just throw it in my path right outside my rhubarb. So tomorrow I will be making my rhubarb cobbler with raspberries and strawberries for a potluck, for a church potluck. And then we'll be going to another barbecue potluck on 4th of July, and I will make another one for that as well. So have a wonderful 4th of July and have a good night of rest tonight.